Malaysia and France have a very strong and long-standing business relationship dating back much before Merdeka. And the logo that you can see on the slide appearing on the screen are testimonial of the presence of Malaysia of most of the largest French companies. On these logos, you will see also some of our Malaysian partners who are a key part of the development of the Malaysia-France trade. The trade between our two countries is steady and consistent with among the main areas of collaboration, of course, aeronautics, infrastructures, manufacturing, tourism, and halal products. Employment generated by French companies in Malaysia stands at about 30,000 people, mostly Malaysians. I know we are talking a lot about foreign workers these days, but we have to say that most French companies in Malaysia are only employing Malaysian people. Meanwhile, the conducive business climate, good infrastructures, and the support for most of the Malaysian authorities have allowed many French companies to use Malaysia as a regional hub. And you will also note that a third of the over 500 French companies present in Malaysia are entrepreneurs with no direct link to France, which have chosen Malaysia as the right place to start their activities. Without further ado, we would like to invite our guest of honor for his opening remarks. Yang Berhormat Datuk Muhammad Izzar bin Ahmad, Chairman of the Investment, Entrepreneur, Cooperative and Human Resource Committee of Johor State Executive Council. Yang Berhormat, welcome. That's for you.
Thank you, Mr. Excellency, Mr. Michael Ozak. Good afternoon to everyone. Firstly, I would like to express my great appreciation for invitations extended to me to join this session this afternoon. Your Excellency, Mr. Michael Ozak, Managing Director, CCI France Malaysia, Yang Berhormat, Datuk Haji Noor Azam, I think he's not here. Oh, here, Datuk is here already. Hi, Datuk. Chief Executive Officers, Kumpulan Persarana Rakyat Johor, KPRJ, Mr. Muhammad Masli bin Wakiman, Chief Executive Invest Johor, Yang Mulia Engku Ahmad Kamil, the Director Economic Prosperity Iskandar Regional Development Authority, IRDA, Mr. Shazul Jayawirawan bin Muhammad Yunus, Director Malaysia Investment Development Authority of Johor, and Mr. Muhammad Ridwan, Chief Executive Officer of MUSE Group Asia, Excellency, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. It gave me a great pleasure to welcome all of you to the online webinar on business opportunity in Johor. It is very encouraging to see many participants with the wide representations of the industry stakeholders today. End of last year, together with MIDA, Johor State Government through Invest Johor, organized MIDA Invest Series, Unfolding Johor State Business Potential successfully held through online tool and received an overwhelming response from the business community. We are indeed delighted that the momentum continues with the numbers of participants today. The work of this group is critically important to wider issue of investment, financial stability, and sustainable development. I would therefore like to begin with some broader context on today's international economic climate. The global economy has not decisively recovered from the fallout of the financial crisis, and economic growth continues to be tepid, with many regions experiencing a renewed slowdown. The resurgence of economic uncertainty and the possibility of the lower growth rate in nearly all major economies also create a new risk for international investment flows. The global economy is being shaped by a series of critical changes, not only a finance, but also by social and environment challenges. The key factors for policymakers in addressing all these issues is investment and how to set policies that can mobilize international investment and ensure that it contributes to sustainable development objectives. As you well know, the greater corporate transparency can enhance the predictability and the stability of the business transaction here today, thereby creating a stronger enabling environment for the investment. Therefore, today's seminar is a part of a Johor State government ongoing engagement to update industry players, especially from France, on the latest policies and facilities that are available. With the lineup of the presentations, as well as the panel sessions throughout the end of this webinar, I hope that all participants will get the full benefits from today's sessions to grow your business. I also would like to take this opportunity to reiterate and provide assurance that Johor will continue to be an economy with a business-friendly environment and invest Johor together with our stakeholders, MIDA, IRDA, and many other agencies will strive to work hard in making Johor the preferred investment destination in Malaysia. In terms of investment, Johor economy continues to evolve and tap on the opportunities arising from global trade patterns and higher market integrations. The investment performance demonstrates a continued investors' confidence in investing in Johor. In year 2019, Johor recorded approved investment amounting to RM 11.5 billion in manufacturing sector. And for year 2020 up to September, Johor has received about RM 5.7 billion approved investment. Despite the multiple challenges faced by the global economy, Johor remains a resilient state. We have a well-diversified economy resting on the back of its solid economic fundamentals. I am confident that with Johor producers, prudent and pragmatic policies, we will continue to be the profit center in this country. Industry players are encouraged to leverage on new sources of growth and venture into more complex products and services. And this will contribute to enhancing the nation's technological capabilities, development and local supply chains, and increasing Johor competitiveness in the marketplace. As we all aware that we are living and trading in the time of the COVID-19 outbreak, no one is spared from ravaging effects of this pandemic, COVID-19. The COVID-19 pandemic has adversely impacted the well-being of the people and the global socio-economic growth that has brought disruptions on the economic and trade, such as travels and tourism, manufacturing, retails and other service sectors, as well as the supply chains and the financial market. It is a major wake-up call for all of us to rethink and reshape our global supply chains model to foster greater economic resilience and sustainability in the long run. For Johor, during the budget speech in year 2021, which came out end of last year, we have introduced a number of measures to bolster the recovery of the economy and minimize the unemployment, to protect incomes and to secure the economic sustainability of the state. While battling to flatten the curve on COVID-19 infections through various comprehensive measures, several economic stimulus packages were also implemented to reinvigorate the economy and to mitigate the impact of the COVID-19 on our economic and social well-being. Thank you to the federal government on this initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, as I am sure that everyone interested in our capital market agrees, we are at a critical juncture in how we regulate our market. To redress the crisis of confidence in our markets, we are on the verge of the greatest overhaul of the securities regulations or investment policy. Nothing is off the table as we seek to modernize our regulatory structures and to restore investor confidence. Due to current situations, I believe that we have two critical mandates, which is to protect investor by ensuring that our markets are fair and to enhance the ability of our capital market to serve as the engine for our economic growth and also improve the standard of living. Here, I would like to share some plans that have been planned by the state government and will be implemented this year. Johor will publish the Investment Master Plan 2020 up to 2030, which is expected to be launched in the second quarter of this year. This plan will reflect the visions and the directions of the Johor State investment sector. In addition to maintaining the 3H, which is high-tech, high-impact, and halal, as the main pillars, this plan has been improved by also targeting investment explorations in the future and also emerging technology sectors, as well creative industries. Johor is also in the midst of planning to develop an innovation hub here. Johor will welcome investors and business alike to come and visit our beautiful state and subsequently choose us as a preferred investment and the business destinations. For information, we will have a Johor Economic Trade and Cultural Office, or known as a JECO, is our international office in Singapore, which will be near very soon. For the time being, I would like to recommend all of you to visit Invest Johor office for any assistance, facilitations, and further information on investment in Johor. To conclude, I would like to take this opportunity to sincerely thank the Malaysian France Chambers of Commerce and Industries and Invest Johor for this initiative. During this difficult and challenging time that the country across the globe are facing, we must be ready to acclimatize ourselves for the new global landscape, the new norm. A backward-looking lengthy holding period is not equal to a forward-looking long-term commitment to the economy and the true stewardship. Or, as we say in investing, past performance is no guarantee for the future. I will always believe that our economy must have the faith of the average investor to succeed. And if we are going to have a faith of average investors, we must listen to them. So this session is intended to be a platform where the individual investors can communicate directly with the stakeholders and make their views known. I sincerely hope that you will enjoy the sessions and thank you for your participation. With that, terima kasih and stay safe.
Thank you very much. Terima kasih, Yang Muhammad Datuk. Merci beaucoup. We will now start our webinar session with a presentation on investment opportunities in Johor by Sheikh Mohammed Masni Wakiman, Chief Executive of Invest Johor. Sheikh Mohammed Masni, you're welcome.
Okay. I hope my voice is loud and clear. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. Michel Lozak, the Managing Director of CCI France Malaysia. Yang Berhormat Dato' Muhammad Izzahar bin Ahmad, Johor State Executive Council and the Chairman of the Investment, Entrepreneur, Cooperative and Human Resource. Yang Berhormat Dato' Haji Nur Azam bin Dato' Haji Osman, Chief Executive of Kumpulan Prasarana Rakyat Johor, KPRJ. Yang Mulia Engku Ahmad Kamil, Director Economic Prosperity, Iskandar Regional Development Authority, IRDA. Mr. Shazul Jayarewawan bin Muhammad Yunus, Director of Nation Investment Development Authority of Johor. Mr. Muhammad Ridwan, Chief Executive Officer, MUSE Group Asia. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude for being able to join in this special webinar session focusing on business opportunities in Johor. So there will be slides from me, and I'm given 15 minutes, Mr. Lozak, for my presentation. Okay. Okay. Johor is open for business. Despite what is happening right now, Johor is, of course, still open for business. And for today, I'm going to present some introduction of Invest Johor. Then, of course, some useful and information and updates about Johor economy and also investment opportunities available in the state. And to some of you who have yet known about us, Invest Johor is a one-stop center that represents the state of Johor in dealing with investors and helps to position Johor as an attractive destination for investment. As you can see, as a government agency, we also have our vision and mission, which is to position Johor as the preferred investment destination in the region. And of course, in our mission, we want to be a leader in generating investment in the region. Invest Johor strives to help transform Johor into a regional hub for high-tech, knowledge-based, and capital-intensive industries. Okay, next, here are the services that we provide, especially in relation with investment projects, which are basically from promoting new investments on behalf of the state of Johor until the implementation of the approved projects, which involvement of local authorities and other related government agencies, be it federal or state, is of course will be happening. And for the promotion, like I mentioned earlier, we will promote the investment to the state. And of course, there are some programs under this promotion aspects, including seminars and briefing like this today's special webinar. And of course, for the approval, we'll be issuing a no objection letter or for application by investor to get approval of manufacturing license from MIDA. And there are some criteria for this application, like for new investment, expansion, and of course relocation. And also for the implementation, we will be hand-holding, and also we monitor post-investment issues, including a site visit where necessary. And of course, in doing so, we also work very closely with MIDA as the first point of contact for new investment projects. We work together all this while, and we hope we will continue to work together and much better in the coming years. And next slide is to show some basic data of Johor. Of course, we have two economic corridors, and that is East Coast Economic Region and Iskandar Malaysia. And it cannot be denied that Iskandar is the more prominent one. And there will be a special presentation about Iskandar by IRDA right after this. And of course, in Johor, we have 10 districts, but we have 16 local authorities, as most of you know about it already. And also, this is general information about how we perform in terms of economic and social development. In 2019, as shown in the slide, we got about 6.5 billion in terms of foreign direct investment in manufacturing, and also for domestic investment, we managed to get 4.9 billion in manufacturing in 2019. And this is the main states contributing to national GDP by economic activity 2019. Of course, as we can see, Johor is among the top 3 in most of the sectors, only in mining. Johor is not in the top 3, But in the GDP overall, Johor is in the top 4, only behind Sarawak. We contributed 9.4% as compared to Sarawak 9.6%. This is just to show our contribution to the national GDP in 2019. As you can see, about 9.4% or 134 billion in 2019. But in 2013 to 2019, the contribution of manufacturing projects approved is about 31%, and which is a very large amount for Johor State. And this is to show our top investors countries' investment in the manufacturing sector from 2013 to 2019. As you can see, Netherlands, Indonesia, Singapore, United States, and China are in the top 5. Okay, and then this is to show the improved investment in manufacturing in Malaysia, 2015 to 2019, where Johor is the number 1 in the top 5 states in Malaysia, where the total approved investment from 2015 to 2019 is 121.41 billion. So that shows our strength in this sector. And this is approved investment in manufacturing sector in Johor itself from 2015 to 2019. We are focusing on quality investment with high income job creation. And this is the approved investment in manufacturing by industry. As we can see in 2019, 35% comes from petroleum products, including petrochemicals, and also chemical and chemical products. And not forgetting, 90% comes from E&E. And this is to show our approved investment in 2019 in manufacturing based on location. From the 10 districts, investments approved clearly shows most number comes from Johor Bahru, followed by Kuala and Pengerang, which is a part of Kota Tinggi. In Johor Bahru, from Johor Bahru, we can see it's about 4.83 billion, followed by Kuala, 2.98 billion, and Pengerang 1.91 billion. In 2020, from January to September, our performance is, in terms of approved investment, is 5.71 billion. Actually, in 2020, we targeted 9 billion in terms of approved investment. 5.71 billion, given the situation of the pandemic COVID-19, I think it is still very good in terms of our performance. And this is to share you some prominent foreign manufacturing companies here in Johor. Okay, for the next slides, actually, since 2019, Johor has been focusing on 3H industries type of investment. That is high-tech, high-value, and of course halal. High-tech industry would boost the productivity in the long term and create a business and more high-skilled job opportunities, where high-value industry, which comprises of 4 emerging services industries such as financial, creative, education, and healthcare. And of course, halal industry. Why halal industry? It is because the expanding market globally, and there is substantial potential for the market to keep on expanding since there is about 1.8 billion Muslims in the world. In 2020, our government also identified 4 new economies to be given special focus in addition of from the 3H focus. There is maritime, aerospace, digital economy, and also creative economy. So, okay, based on the focus that I mentioned earlier, Johor is being very clear that no matter what, we are indeed targeting only high quality investments and not just about numbers. This is very important in the long run. As you can see, targeting quality investments, including high value added, strong linkages, skills intensive, high income jobs, high tech, capital intensive, and of course, knowledge intensive. Okay, my next slides. Why Malaysia or why Johor? Why Johor should be the choice for new investment location? First and foremost is the fact that we have a strong economic fundamentals. Of course, we have a strategic location, a greater market access, and Johor remains progressive and improving our value proposition to investors, especially in the focus industries. As you can see, Southeast Asia is estimated to grow by 4.9% over the next 5 years. Here, like I mentioned earlier, the greater market access. And then, okay, this is our unique value proposition, great location where Johor is actually at the center of Asia, and of course our close proximity to Singapore. And then we also have a strong multilingual, diverse talent pool in response to the fast-growing economy and dynamic business landscape in Johor. Of course, in terms of competitive cost of doing business, we are very competitive in comparison with other key states in Malaysia, such as rental rate of prime office spaces, cost of industrial land, cost of ready-built factories, and also annual assessment rates. And of course, already mentioned our successful track records over 4 decades of industrial experience, and actually we are home to more than 300 MNCs. Not to mention the efficient supply chain output and abundant investment opportunities. Our conducive business environment, where Johor is considered the most livable developed state in Malaysia, which actually offers high quality of life at affordable prices, more affordable to live in. Cost of living is far lower than in Singapore. We also have complete infrastructure facilities and of course our excellent ICT infrastructure. Johor actually takes investment very seriously, especially in focus sectors in manufacturing and selected services. Therefore, we are working on our master plan. Okay, this is just to show our major industrial parks in Johor, where we have about more than 100 industrial estates or parks, 18 free industrial zones, specialized parks, and of course, up to 3 halal parks in Johor. Then here are ports in Johor, where we have Tanjung Pelepas Port, Johor Port, and of course, Tanjung Langsat Port. Port of Tanjung Pelepas, actually the 3rd busiest port in Southeast Asia and ranked among the top 20 container ports in the world. Here are the sea connectivity via Port of Tanjung Pelepas, where major ASEAN markets is accessible in less than 5 days. This close proximity provides an added flexibility to tap on the connectivity network of Port of Singapore. Then air connectivity via Sunaero Airport, where major ASEAN markets are accessible in less than 5 hours. And the close proximity provides an added flexibility to tap on the connectivity network of Changi Airport and also KLIA, Kuala Lumpur International Airport. As you can see, top 10 airports in the world can be reached in less than 25 hours. And it's just to sum up our advantages, like our talent pool, infrastructure, our livability, and of course, our near shore to Singapore. And also, as mentioned earlier by Yang Izzah, we are working on our Johor Investment Master Plan, and it is scheduled to be launched in third quarter of 2021. And Johor, Invest Johor and State Economic Planning Division are working on it. And hopefully this will be a good reference in attracting a new investment in Johor in the years coming. And the next slide, I will show some a few of special agendas from the recent budget 2021 of Johor. Like in the slide, Johor Tani or Agro Johor, actually it is very much in line with our food security agenda, where there will be transformation of agri sector and food-based industry Johor. Our state our government have already allocated about 2,168 hectares of land for modern farming and primary food projects. Next is Digital Johor. State of Johor will leverage on the National Digital Plan Program, that is Jendela or Plan Jalinan Digital Negara. Of course, Johor Wi-Fi 2.0 and other digital programs like the launch of drone and robotics zone in Medini. Of course, Iskandar Innovation Hub for startup, where all this progress is driven by Iskandar Investment Berhad. And investment for this digital sector is expected to come mostly from private companies and with the support of state government of Johor. And then, of course, human resource is another special agenda, which it is a very important factor or input in driving the economy further, like Johor upskilling and reskilling programs, and of course the establishment of a human resource steering community, and of course others program by IRDA and EduCity, like Prantis program by Iskandar Malaysia, and of course by EduCity, and will focus on technology. Well, I think that's about it for my presentation, and return to Mr. Lozek. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Merci beaucoup, Terima kasih and Sheikh Masni for this complete presentation, and we look forward to know more about the next master plan that you will present in the later part of the year. Okay. We now would like to welcome Yang Mulia Enko Ahmad Kamel, Director Economics Investment of Iskandar Regional Development Authority, IRDA, for the presentation on investment opportunities in Iskandar, Malaysia.
Thank you.
Kamel, that's for you.
Thank you. Merci, Michel Lozak from CCIM. His Excellency Datuk Muhammad Izzah, Chairman of State Investments, Datuk Noor Azam from KPRJ, Shazul from MIDA, Cik Masni, Invest Johor, and all the panelists, participants with here today. I'm very grateful to be given this opportunity to share with you for the next 15 minutes opportunities available in Iskandar, Malaysia. So I will start by, hang on, it doesn't move. I will share again, sorry. Okay, by way of introduction, I think everyone should be quite aware of where we are. We are in the heart of ASEAN. Iskandar Malaysia is a special region created by the government 15 years ago to develop a 2,217 square kilometers of area in the southernmost part of the state of Johor. We have, put in the pieces, if you like, both on the demand side, the supply side. We need to have good planning documents. I think also, supported by an act of parliament for the creation of IRDA. We need to have the prime movers, the big developers that needs to come in. And last but not least, we need to bring in the catalysts, the drivers, some of the big names as you can see there. We have a comprehensive development plan which charts our course right up to 2025. So we've got another 4 to 5 years remaining of our plan. So far I can share with you, which I will show you the numbers. The investments are coming in well. Of course, throughout the world, everyone has been hit by the COVID-19 pandemic. We are no exception, but we are working very closely with the various agencies in the government to actually see how we can soften the blow of this pandemic. Yeah. So our area is basically, divided into A, B, C, D, and E. Each area has got its own focus areas. Yeah, we've got ports, we've got an airport, and we cover 9 promoted sectors. Okay, population currently at about 2.23 million. We hope to raise it to 3 million by 2025. The governance structure, as mentioned earlier, the Iskandar Regional Development Authority was created under an act of parliament. It's actually jointly, joint initiative between the federal government and the state government. Our task is simply to plan, to promote, and facilitate. And obviously, we have other agencies that we work closely, MIDA being the principal investment, agency in Malaysia, and Invest Johor specifically for Johor. So basically, you are in safe hands. You've got about 2 or 3 good agencies that will help you find the right place in Iskandar, Malaysia. And as a measure of performance, we have thus far received 68 billion euros, up to November, creation of about 800,000 employment. On the right side, you can see those are our targets for 2025. So you can see we've got another, say, about 8 billion euros to go for the next 4 years. Actually, we were very confident of reaching this number, notwithstanding the COVID situation, because as you can see right now, I think, vaccines are coming. So hopefully we can see some return to, normalcy for 2021. Although obviously the way we do business is probably different. There'll be, some new regulations, SOPs that needs to be adhered to. But I think the Malaysian government and the state government has been working very hard to continue to attract good investments. I will not repeat the type of investments as mentioned by my fellow panelists earlier. I think afterwards, MIDA will obviously give more detail about the areas of focus and the incentives that can be made available to investors. Okay, promoted sectors, there are 9 promoted sectors, 6 in services, financial, logistics, education, tourism, creative, and healthcare, manufacturing, electrical, electronics, petroleum and oil and gas, and food and agro processing. But of course, we don't also forget areas like green technology, biotechnology, and especially in food. We want to really promote Iskandar, Malaysia as the hub for halal manufacturing as well. As mentioned earlier, we have received so far total cumulative investment of 68 billion, over 68 billion euros. Of which 40% of this are coming from the foreign investors. Those are the breakdowns for the promoted and non-promoted sector. As you can see, the corresponding investments in properties, for example, is also very huge, although it's not promoted. But I think it's natural when you know, the good investments comes in, the corresponding investments in properties will also take place. So we have over the years very good growth. In fact, obviously for 2020, it has dipped somewhat, and of course for 2021, we feel that I think the investments will still not be as interesting as before. But I think the government continues to actually push and to attract, and there are a number of investments that are still coming in into our region. Out of that 68 billion that I've shown, 41 billion is already on the ground. Yeah, I think for those of you who have visited, you know, Iskandar Malaysia, you can see, if you've been here long enough, you can see, you know, from, let's say, if you were here 2010, 2011, perhaps there's nothing much going on yet, but beginning 2012 and so on, lots of new developments have taken place. So I would strongly urge, I think, you know, for those of you who are not here yet in the region, if you so happen to pass by, or you are, you know, in Singapore for some reason, please do visit us. There are 2 linkages coming via Singapore. Hopefully, they will let, or rather, it will be much easier for movement of people in the coming months. Foreign investments in Iskandar Malaysia, totaling over 27 billion euros. China is leading the way. Singapore, obviously being next door, and you have the Americans, Japanese, and so on. Yeah, we've yet to see a huge French investment, perhaps in other parts in Malaysia. But I think you know, it's a good opportunity for France. Currently, it is recorded about 200 million euros so far. Okay, it comes from all over the place. You know, our region so far is already quite known to some parts, especially to the investors in East Asia, from Japan and Korea and so on. But we do try our best to actually, you know, also sell what we have to the European continent. These are some of the companies, French companies. You know, you may be familiar. I think 1 or 2 of them will be talking afterwards. I will not dwell too much. And in 2017, just to share, we did our first visit to France, a mission to France. We were in Paris, you know, we were in Marseille, Lyon, and Lille. Very interesting trip, something you know, new for us. And I think there's lots of people that we've met, and we hope with this seminar, the interest will keep coming in. Okay, so I will run through quickly some pictorials as to the companies in some of the areas of investments. For example, in manufacturing here, you can see some of the establishments that are there. We talk about halal, biotechnology, green. You know, we have good A-grade spaces, industrial, warehouse, commercial, office, residence, and so on. So we not only talk about you know, investment, but also it's an area to live and to play. Yeah, some of these sites will have workers' accommodation. You know, very nice ones. Creation of a sustainable environment. We're talking about rail linkages, bus services. We also do our part on public housing and so on. You know, we continue to work with the government to improve connectivity and mobility for the region. And we are also pushing our agenda in the areas of smart city, low carbon, and so on. Yeah. So again, some pictures here in logistics. As mentioned, we have 3 ports. We have 1 airport. Financial and business services. These are some of the companies. Education, we have a number of good foreign universities and also some good local ones as well within our area. Tourism, there's a lot of attractions here. Of course, this sector has been very, very badly hit during the current pandemic. We are trying very hard to see how we can actually see some movements coming from across into our region to support the tourism industry. Creative, we have Iskandar Malaysia Studios, which has produced Marco Polo, if you have seen on Netflix, and there's still quite a number of productions currently. Healthcare, good quality hospitals, part of the government ones. We do have, you know, some big names coming from Singapore and so on. And moving forward, I think from where we are now to the target of 2025, we know that the road is long and winding and you know, can be treacherous. But nevertheless, I think over the next 5 years, we are still very confident. Yeah. Hopefully, when this pandemic is over, we will see much more investments coming in. So, thank you for your attention. Merci beaucoup. Thank you.
Terima kasih, Yang Mulia and Ku Kamil. Thank you for reminding us the good old time and the visit to France. Thank you. Before we go to the next presentation by Sheikh Shazul from MIDA, I just would like to remind all our participants for the knowledge of our panelists. Please note that we have about 100 people connected to our event today. So I think it's a very good turnout. I would like to tell all the participants, invite all the participants to do not hesitate to start entering on our Q&A at the bottom of the screen via the Q&A button. Do not hesitate to start asking your questions, and so we can be ready for when we will do our Q&A session at the end of all the presentations. Thank you very much. Okay. So after the general view on the investment of Johor, after the specific view on the Iskandar, now let's get the view from MIDA, the one-stop center entrance door for investors to Malaysia. So we were welcoming and Sheikh Shazul Jaya Wirawan, in charge of MIDA Johor, to present the government support on facilitation for foreign investors. And Sheikh Shazul, that's for you.
Thank you to Michelle Lojek. Merci beaucoup. And Yang Berhormat Datuk Muhammad Izzah bin Ahmad, Chairman of Investment Entrepreneur Cooperative and Human Resource of Johor. Yang Berhormat Datuk Haji Nur Azam from KPRJ, Encik Muhammad Masni Wakiman, Chief Executive Invest Johor, and also Mr. Engku Kamil from IRDA, distinguished panelists, as well as all participants. A very good afternoon to all. Before I begin, let me extend my thanks to Malaysian French Chamber of Commerce and Industry for organizing this webinar. And we have the opportunities today, which all our early speakers from Invest Johor and also from IRDA has highlighted and also shared about the state of Johor's inspiration and also what kind of investment we are targeting. So today I will be sharing with you in terms of what will be the government support and also facilitation in terms of attracting the investment. As the principal investment promotion and industrial development agency of Malaysia, the Malaysian Investment Development Authority, or MIDA, is the first point of contact for any businessman who wants to set up their operation in our country. We are and have been instrumental in attracting FDI for more than 50 years since our establishment in 1967. Besides being an investment promotion agency, MIDA provides end-to-end solutions, including approvals for manufacturing license, investment incentive, expatriate post, import duty exemption, and we handhold investor until the implementation of project. MIDA handles the application of setting up representative office up to setting up of operational headquarters and production facilities. MIDA has a global footprint with a strategic network of 20 overseas offices located in the capital exporting countries to attract and facilitate foreign investment into Malaysia. We also have an offices in each state in Malaysia, except Perlis, to assist our investors for post-implementation of projects and to deal with the state government. We are your one-stop agency to ease the setting up of your business in Malaysia. As everybody is aware, the COVID-19 outbreak has impacted social, health, and economic activities across the globe. And the Malaysian government has steered the country through these challenging times by taking an approach focused on 6 key steps or 6R strategy, namely resolve, resilient, restart, recovery, revitalize, and also reform. Since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic early last year, the government has implemented 4 economic stimulus packages worth 305 billion ringgit Malaysia, equivalent to more than 20% of GDP, to assist the people and businesses, as well as to safeguard the economy. These economic stimulus packages involve a fiscal injection of 55 billion ringgit by the government. Subsequently, on the 18th January this year, the government has announced 22 initiatives worth of 15 billion ringgit under the Perlindungan Ekonomi dan Rakyat Malaysia, or PERMAI, assistance package, which improve on the existing ongoing initiatives and also accelerates the implementation of related initiatives. This initiative will be implemented under PERMAI, anchored on the 3 main objectives, which are combating the COVID-19 outbreak, safeguarding the welfare of the people, and supporting the business continuity. The Malaysian government is determined to speed up the recovery of the country's economy, and please make full use of the various benefits under these initiatives. Some of the major investment measures introduced in Pejana is to support business include special tax incentive, which I will touch later on, 2-day approval of manufacturing license for non-sensitive industries. MIDA is also keeping up with the agile ways of working by providing more digital services to assist our stakeholders in real time. So we have introduced the e-manufacturing license module, a new digital platform that allows companies to submit and track application for new manufacturing license, expansion or diversification projects, or the confirmation letter for the exemption from manufacturing license. And also we have enhanced our JPC online application module, which is the online module for custom duties exemption application, as well as a e-incentive module that covers incentive applications for promoted activities and products listed on the general and small scale companies list under the Promotion of Investment Act 1986. These initiatives are part of MIDA's digital transformation initiative to re-engineer our business processes. Our ultimate goal aim is to raise the efficiency of the various functions of MIDA to ease your dealings with us. The next one is the establishment of Project Acceleration and Coordination Unit, or PACU, in MIDA to speed up the implementation of an investment project in Malaysia. And among other penjana also is a smart automation grant and also additional reinvestment allowance. The main objective of this special tax incentive is to assist companies intending to relocate their operation to Malaysia following a global economic crisis, which has led to major disruption of global supply chains. So the type of incentive offered under this special incentive are as follows. For new company, 0% of special tax rate for 10 years for new investment in manufacturing sector with capital investment between 300 million to up to 500 million ringgit. And second is a 0% special tax rate for 15 years for new investment in manufacturing sector with capital investment above 500 million. As for existing company, we can consider 100% investment tax allowance for 5 years for existing company in Malaysia relocating overseas facilities into Malaysia with capital investment above 300 million. The allowance is offset against 100% of the statutory income for each year assessment. This incentive is effective from 1st July 2020 until 31st December 2021. So MIDA has also, as mentioned, MIDA has also established a PACU, or the PACU, Project Acceleration and Coordination Unit, to facilitate the speedy implementation of investment projects in the country. So PACU provides end-to-end facilitation for all projects approved, and PACU ensures a more accelerated process from the approval of your projects right up to its implementation. Status of our projects can be monitored and tracked in real time through MIDA digitalized system. This unit also will assist your company's implementation issues by identifying the challenges, proposing appropriate solutions, and facilitating in the monitoring of its progress. So MIDA through PACU will provide professional support and assistance for your businesses to grow in Malaysia. So the introduction of this special RA, or reinvestment allowance, will encourage eligible companies involved in manufacturing and selected agriculture activities to automate or modernize their businesses. So during this COVID-19 pandemic period, companies are more likely to explore the opportunity to automate and modernize as opposed to expand or diversify in their bid to reduce costs and also to improve efficiency so that they can compete better in their industry. The Smart Automation Grant is offered to Malaysian small and medium enterprise and also mid-tier companies in manufacturing as well as services sector. The grant will be given on the matching basis one-to-one based on eligible expenditures up to a maximum grant of 1 million per company. So the main objective of the Smart Automation Grant are to assist as well as incentivize SMEs and MTCs to optimize and digitalize production and trade channels, as well as to improve efficiency in the manufacturing and services sector. In addition, it also to reduce reliance on low-skilled foreign workers, to provide job opportunities in high value-added sectors, to enhance SME competitiveness on an international level, as well as this is in line with the national policy on Industry 4.0. Application received by MIDA from 4th December 2020 to 31st December 2021 are eligible to be considered for this grant. So these are among the criteria for consideration for this grant. And as you can see that one of the criteria is at least one of the company must meet at least one of the committed deliverables. So at least if the company is meet one of these committed deliverables, so we can consider this a grant. So other tax incentive which were announced in budget 2021 is incentive for manufacturers of pharmaceutical products, including COVID-19 vaccines. So basically, this in terms of quantum is income tax rate 0 to 10% for the first 10 years, and also income tax rate of 10% for the subsequent period of 10 years. So this strategic investment by such companies may be considered for other facilities, including grants, import duty or sales tax exemption for machineries and equipment, as well as raw materials. In addition, under this so-called budget 2021, another incentive is introduced is a global trading center, where this incentive will enhance and simplify tax incentive for trading activities previously covered under the principal hub incentive, which was subjected to higher eligibility criteria. So basically, this GTC status incentive scheme is for trading activities, and the application submission is valid from 1st January this year until 31st December 2022. So under this GTC Global Trading Center, it is non-mutually exclusive with the principal hub, where principal hub is to cover services and exempt services income, while GTC to cover distribution and procurement and exempt the trading income. The next incentive is a relocation incentive for services sector, where the scope of the tax incentive to be expanded to the companies in selected services sector, including companies adopting Industry 4.0 and digitalization technology with investment that contribute to the significant multiplier. So as you can see that the government has expand the relocation incentive to the selected services sector. And in addition, a special income tax exemption at the rate of 15% for 5 years will also be extended to a non-resident individual holding the key post for companies with a strategic investment which relocate their business operation into Malaysia. So in addition to that, also another incentive extension is an extension of a tax incentive for selected services sector, which includes tax incentive for the MRO activity, for the manufacturing of industrial building system, and also the shipbuilding and ship repairing, which has been extended up to until 2022. And for the principal hub, the government has the principal hub incentive has been extended from 1st January 2021 until 31st December 2022. Additionally, the minimum condition of the number of high-value jobs, annual expenditure, operating expenditure, and the number of the key posts for renewal and the tax incentive for the period for the second 5 years to be relaxed. And in terms of the commercialization of R&D findings, it also covers for investor company in terms of tax deduction, and also for subsidiary companies that commercialize R&D finding can be considered for income tax exemption 100% for 10 years. So indirectly, in terms of the increase of sales limit for value-added and additional activities carried out in the free industrial zone or licensed manufacturing warehouse, this is an indirect tax incentive, the government has put forward a proposal to increase the annual sales value threshold of the value added and additional activities from 10% up to 40%, with an aim to increase the competitiveness of the company as well as to fulfill the dynamics of the global trade. So the Malaysian government continues to be a pro-business, prudent and pragmatic in our policies to ensure that Malaysia investment climate remains attractive for businesses. Malaysia also offers a wide range of competitive tax incentive for manufacturing projects under the PIA 1986 and also the Income Tax Act 1967. The main incentive are the pioneer status, investment tax allowance, reinvestment allowance, incentive for high-tech industry, and also incentive for strategic projects and incentive for the setting up of international or regional service-based operation. So the Industry Forward Initiative was launched in 2018 as a catalyst to support the manufacturing and manufacturing-related services sectors transition into Industry 4.0. So this drive for digital adoption, which was carried out into Budget 2020, and when the government announced additional facilities to further encourage automation and digitalization among companies, not only in the manufacturing, but also through the extension of automation capital allowance for the services sector on top of the smart automation matching grants. The automation capital allowance incentive also expanded to services sector, which the company engaged in services activities and incurred expenditure on the machinery or equipment or software. And this equipment used directly in the process of carrying out the services and adopts technology that is more advanced in improving services delivery. And also this machinery, this equipment also used at least for 1 month after installation for the purpose of installation of technical verification by SIRIM. The asset also, sorry. So the asset is used at least 1 month after installation for the purpose of technical verification. So beside this ACA or automation capital allowance, MIDA also offers assistance and facilitation for businesses to accelerate the adoption of digital technologies and also become the catalyst in driving the nation's digital economy. So one of the initiatives is the Industry Forward Intervention Fund, which is a financial support facility for Malaysian SMEs in the manufacturing and related services sectors to embrace Industry 4.0. This is a financial support facility for Malaysian SMEs in the manufacturing and related services sectors. And this fund is eligible for all SMEs which have completed the Industry Forward Readiness Assessment. So MITI has appointed MIDA as the implementing agency for the Industry Forward in the Intervention Fund. The fund will be provided on the matching basis 70-30 based on eligible expenditures up to maximum grant of 500,000 ringgit. So details can be referred to MIDA website. So So as everyone here can verify that the pandemic has compelled businesses, both big and small, to rethink their business models. These new normals that has dawned on us presents us with the opportunities to find innovative ways to prioritize operational efficiency and build resilience by strategically leveraging effective digital technologies. As partners to investors, MIDA wants to assist our industry stakeholders to ensure the success of their endeavors in Malaysia, may it be new projects, expansions, or digitalization and automation efforts. So we urge companies to invest in upgrading their capabilities, adopt higher automation and digitalization. And MIDA provides support and facilitation for companies both in the manufacturing and services sectors. So as a MIDA provide end-to-end facilitation, which include hand-holding services for all projects approved by the National Committee of Investment through its project through PACU unit. And we would like to ensure that acceleration from approval of project to its implementation through working closely with the state authorities, utility and telecommunication providers, custom and environmental agencies. And we also would like to facilitate investors' human capital needs within the mandate and authority entrusted to MIDA. So MIDA also will strategize in terms of policy or programs for national talent development. MIDA also has been spearheading initiative to connect local companies and SMEs with the multinational companies and large local cooperation through many platforms, including supply chain conference and other networking events. In addition, MIDA's domestic investment coordination platform, or DICP, was established to assist companies that are seeking capital injection for expansion, structured financing for new projects, joint venture partners, as well as merger and acquisition. This dedicated team provides for the missing link between the businesses, funding, technology, and research partners to enable local companies to grow and remain competitive. Recognizing the prospect of the domestic businesses in driving the economic growth of the country, so MIDA continues to encourage local companies to better expand their market outreach and adopt best practices by becoming critical parts of the global supply chain. So MIDA facilitates companies that are interested in the local sourcing activities, as well as outsourcing the local engineering support. MIDA also has introduced the Lighthouse Initiative, a concept of modeling global MNCs that have embraced digital manufacturing, globalization 4.0 in their business model and entire supply chain. We hope that more local companies will be integrated into similar Lighthouse operation and become trusted suppliers of MNC supply chain networks. So, should you need any further information, and I think that's all from my presentation today. So, should you need any further information and assistance, please feel free to contact us either from our HQ office as well as our Johor Bahru office. With that, I would like to conclude my presentation. Thank you. I pass over to you, Mr. Michelle.
Thank you, Sheikh Shazul, for this very complete presentation on the MIDA assistance. And I'm sure our participant will contact you directly for any further detail. We already have some questions. We might not be able to use all the questions, but we will try our best. Otherwise, people will be able to contact you directly. Okay, after the presentation of all the main agencies, we now have a special guest, a special organization for a very interesting project which is going to happen in Johor. So we would like to invite the MUSE group for a presentation on L'Etape by Tour de France. Tour de France, you know, the cycling tour. It's a very traditional French event. So the Malaysian edition of the L'Etape by Tour de France will take place in Johor in 2021, hopefully, if conditions permit, in August. Described as the world's greatest amateur cycling race, the event is bound together cyclists from the region for a unique experience, allowing amateurs to race like a Tour de France champion. The French Embassy in Malaysia, CCI France Malaysia, are supporting this event. Please welcome Young Veromat Dato Haji Norazam from Kumpulan Prasarana Rakyat Johor and Muhammad Ridwan, MUSE Group Asia, for the presentation. Please.
I think we should start with Ridwan first, please. Okay. I was thinking that because we are supposed to present this together with Ridwan coming from MUSE, I think I would like Ridwan to present it first, then I'll just add on coming from the state.
Okay, Dato'. I would present first, no problem. I hope everybody can see my presentation. First and foremost, thank you, Mr. Lozak, Managing Director of the French Chamber of Commerce, YB Dato' Muhammad Izzah bin Ahmad, Johor State Exco, Dato' Haji Nur Razam, Group CEO KPRJ, Encik Muhammad Masni Wakiman, CEO Invest Johor, Engku Kamal IRDA, and also Encik Shahzul Jayawirawan from MIDA. My presentation is very short. I'm given only 5 minutes to do this, but like what Mr. Lozak mentioned, we are together with KPRJ bringing the #1 amateur cycling race to Malaysia for the very first time in 2021. We hope that we could do this event at the end of the year. We have slated to do this on the 6th of November. In case you don't know what Etape by Tour de France is, I'm playing a very short video just for your information. So enjoy the video. So Malaysia has just joined the ranks of about 14 countries in the world that has the license to organize the prestigious Etape by the Tour de France. This is an amateur race, not a professional race. And because of that, we can invite all the amateur cyclists to take part in this event. So this event, if you go to the website of Etape by Tour de France, you will see Malaysia has just been added to the ranks of licensee globally. The event, like I mentioned, is supposed to take place on the 6th of November at the Saru Coast. This is at the Saru Coast Resorts. And we will have distances of about 140, 60 kilometer and 10 km. We also have for family members, kids especially, a push bike competition where we have 300 slots for kids ranging from 2 years old to 7 years old. Amongst the few things that we are planning to do, we are planning to bring one of the biggest names in professional cycling, Alberto Contador, to be our ambassador for this race. We did the race in Thailand for 2 years running already, in 2018, 2019, and he was our ambassador, and we hope to bring him to Malaysia for the very first time. And this is a great opportunity for cycling fans to perhaps see one of the biggest names in world cycling. Just to share with you some of the collaterals that we will have. If you are racing 140 and 60 km, this is your jersey. Obviously, this is before we insert all the sponsors' logo. It's a very nice jersey, and we are collaborating with Decathlon. Decathlon has, in principle, agreed to partner us for this prestigious event. Some of the collaterals that we will have will include the medals that we, and also the bib that we will give away to every single finisher of the race. This is not just a cycling event. This is also an extension of the French culture. We have invited the French embassy together with the French Chamber of Commerce to participate in the event and bring some French culture to the event and showcase this to the Malaysians at large. Some of the things that we are doing will include the cultural exhibitions and performances. We will also have exhibitions in the cycling industry and also performances. This is the route that we have slated for the race. 140 kilometer will take you all the way to Sedili and Pengerang, all the way down, while the 60 kilometer will be just a closer circle around the Saru Coast. We are expecting 4,000 people, hopefully with the borders opening sooner than later. I think this is very achievable. Quietly, we are looking at 5,000. Why? Because with 5,000 participants, it will make Etape Malaysia the second biggest event in the Etape calendar worldwide. The biggest obviously is in Nice with 16,000 participants. And I think this event particularly will bring a lot of return of investment for the state of Johor through tourism and sports. Very quickly, if you wish to participate, this is the projected registration fee for you to take part in the event. Like Mr. Lozak mentioned, we are deeply honored to have the support from the French ambassador and the embassy for the event. We have the license for the event for the next 3 years, and we are looking at bringing this to Johor for that term. With that, if, for instance, we welcome any inquiries or support from sponsors and partners alike, and if you have any interest in this, please do let myself or Mr. Lozak from the chamber know. With that, I pass on the presentation to Datuk Haji Nur Razam from KPRJ.
Thank you, Ridwan. Mr. Lozak, members of the panelists. I just want to add on that I represent the state government of Johor's government-linked company, which is 100% owned by the state of Johor. We have a subsidiary called Sports Johor Sdn Bhd, which is responsible to actually, among the tasks that we're given is to organize SUKMA, actually, the Malaysia Games. But I think besides that, we are also here to promote sports as an industry, and we help the state to come up with the sports master plan, which will be launched this year. So in looking into Etape, I think we will co-organize this together with the MUSE, with Ridwan. And we hope that this will be the inaugural event. We plan, of course, November this year, but of course, subject to what's going to happen to the world. But I think we want to keep this for 3 years in Johor because we see that potential. Johor being a state, border state with Singapore and Indonesia, and we think that we can get the numbers coming not only from domestic cyclists, but also from international cyclists. And the destination of the Saru that we chose is a place where it has all the ecosystem to organize an international event like the Etape. And I think the Saru has always been the venue for sports. They have organized triathlon, Ironman, big international events. And I think now we do have hotels and logistics that can support this big event. I think the last big event organized was the International Bike Week, which was done I think towards the end of 2019. And that's an international event. I think there's about 20,000 people came for that big event, including 11 Hells Angels. These are bikers coming from all over the world for that event. And I think we look forward to actually being a partner to this event. And together with the state of Johor, we welcome participants as well as sponsors to be part of this event where we see that can bring a lot of economic spin-offs, not only to the state, but I think the local economy as a whole. So we are gonna actually plan this. We hope that the Etape will be an event which will actually that can be done this year. If not, it will be next year. But we will actually pray for the best for the event to be done. This will help the tourism industry as a whole. So I think that's about it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Dato. And again, we also hope that this project will take place as soon as possible. And as I said before, we are all the way behind you. Okay. After all this presentation from the key agencies and also this very interesting project from MUSE in Johor, let's see a little bit what the French companies who are in the south region have to say. For that matter, we have asked our representative for the southern region, Monsieur Julien Bouzinac, to coordinate and share with us a representative from MNC, multinational company. We have a French company, multinational in Johor, SMEs, and also entrepreneurs. So without any more time, I would like to invite Mr. Julien Bouzinac, CEO of Sunaero, and foremost representative of the CCI France Malaysia for the southern region. Julien, the voice is yours.
Thank you, Michel. And first of all, I would like to assure you that we will support the cycling event. I can assure you that all my team will participate, but with electrical car. It's my only request. Apart from this, as Michel was saying, yes, the French are present in south of Malaysia since the 17th. Initially, it was from Thomson Group, which is an old group, but a very powerful one. Now we have the STE microelectronics one, which is 4,000 Malaysian employees, meaning 25% of the trade between Malaysia and France. We have the advantage today to have Technip Asiaflex, which will talk just after me, Arkema, Framatome, and Saint-Gobain, which are very big and famous companies in France and in South Malaysia. We are lucky enough to have some medium, big size company with 3C Metal, AGS, Asia Cloud, Elang, Lyreco, Manitou, myself, Sunaero, and Tanexo. And we have the French food of the south of Malaysia, which is Chez Papa and Les Bouchons, and Maxime. I have to add, because I'm working with the Malaysian French Chamber of Commerce, but I'm working in aerospace, that in south of Malaysia, we are trying to build an aerospace committee. Basically, this aerospace committee will be driven by NICO, the head of NICO. I'm pretty sure IRDA is aware of this. And what we are trying to do is to work together with Malaysian and French aerospace company, including Singaporean French company close to us. So this is why just now you will have the pleasure to hear about Technip, which is part of South Malaysia, and APAC, represented by Mr. Hervo, which is in Singapore, but French, and working in Malaysia. So basically, we have more than 20 companies in South Malaysia. This is the best place to start working and to have business in Malaysia. Everybody knows that, for cycling and for aerospace and for other business. So please do not hesitate to discuss with Michel or with me or with the French Chamber of Commerce or IRDA or MIDA. And we will be happy to help to answer to whatever question, whatever idea we can have, even if this is crazy, please do not hesitate to discuss with us. So I leave the floor because we are a bit short of time to Technip now, Asiaflex, and do not hesitate for my email or for my phone number. I will answer to you anytime. All the best.
Thank you, Julien. So we should have now Mr. Rajan Pranusami from Asiaflex for his testimonials.
Thanks, Michelle. Let me run through my slide first. Yeah. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for the opportunity given to introduce about Asiaflex. The flexible manufacturing yard of Technip FMC is the first of its kind state-of-the-art facility that developed to manufacture a niche technology product to cater for subsea demand market in APAC region. Our presence in Johor almost 10 years and spread over 200,000 square feet area located in Tanjung Langsat Port. It's strategically located at the South Peninsula of Malaysia that is well connected with waterways between East and West Asia. Through this gateway, we are connected to the rest of the world. The facility reinforces our commitment to make Malaysia attractive to address bigger market with the flexible technology products. Our aim is to serve towards import substitution as well as contribute to export to the country. By this will take a step towards enhancing the performance of the energy sector, which our company's vision and mission. The existence of the manufacturing plant in this region enables us to provide solutions to our major client in terms of high technology flexible pipes with good quality and efficient in terms of cost. This ensuring us to deliver on time to sustain our clients' demand and also to ensure their satisfaction. At each level of manufacturing, you can witness perfect fusion of knowledge, skill, and technical expertise capitalized from local workforce. We're able to produce up to 400 tons with assistance of customized rail carrier, which you can see in Asiaflex entity. We own 370 tons of key crane to perform mobilization on vessels on site. At the moment, we have a 389 workforce and almost 99% consists of local talents. 10 years back, there were around 10 to 15% of expats from France and Brazil stationed here for the technology and knowledge transfer purpose. Over the time, we're able to groom our local talents in order to take over the rules that expats bring in. And now we are 99% local base. The manufacturing units consist of profilers, armoring machines, spiraling, and also extrusion machines, some binders, radiography enclosures, in-house non-destructive test equipment, and fully equipped with mechanical test labs. The shop has been integrated management system for quality, health, and safety. Aside from this, we are holding API 17J monogram certification, which enable us to be a market leader player. Right. So let's go for next slide. Up to 2019, we have produced more than 470 kilometer flexible pipes for more than 80 projects, as you can see in the footprint. Our main focus still remain APAC region, since we have two another manufacturing units based in France and Brazil to serve geographical segment. In next slide, I'll be playing a short corporate video to show you who we are and what we are doing in Tanjung Langsat Port. Okay, gents, thanks for watching the short video. So when you see this short video, this is very complex mobilization will take place in Tanjung Langsat port. This is what we are doing now. And the next slide will be I will be showing the reason behind our investment in Johor. This slide will reflect on this. I won't go in detail due to lack of time. Just pick some main points in blue fonts when you see this slide. So when you see the first one is a safe and comfortable living environment, the government is prioritizing the safety and has put in place numerous measures to decrease crime rate over the years. Aside from this, protected environment, green development, and green infrastructure also attract us. Next, the latest digital and fiber optics technology is being used to provide high quality telecommunication service at competitive price. For example, Johor is among the top ranked states that have a high household broadband penetration. It's a very good information. Next, we have a multilingual quality workforce at a cost that is much lower than many other developed and developing countries. Numerous education institutions being established in the country, as well as Johor State that able to offer us various programs to cater for the need of the demand in the industry workforce. We're able to get the sufficient competent workforce so that we're able to operate in Johor efficiently, successfully. Lastly, never forget some pro-business policies from the government bodies to reinforce our presence here. Okay, that's all my short preview about Asiaflex. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Raja. I think this is a very good testimonial and a good symbolic view about what Johor has to offer. Talking about MNC, so as Julien mentioned, we had ST Microelectronics, we have Technip, we have Saint-Gobain, and also we miss it out just before is Schneider. Schneider also, which is very important in Malaysia, and have also development in Johor around the rapid project. Okay, we just got two testimonials of two French companies who are based in Johor, but now let's end this testimonial service by one more company called APAC, which is also in the aeronautical sector, which happened to be based in Singapore. But this company is working a lot with Johor. So we have invited Mr. Fred Hervaux, Managing Director of APAC, Aviation, Partner and Consulting, to give us a little bit his view, comments and testimonials about working in Malaysia. Thank you. For you, Fred.
Hello, Michel. Thank you very much. I hope everybody can hear me clearly. I'm going to share can you everybody see my PowerPoint? No. Oop. Yeah, it seems we have an issue with the PowerPoint. Never mind. So I just wanted to do a very quick and short testimonial about the experience of working with company based in Johor. So you mentioned, Michel, we are working closely and we are one of the authorized distributor from the company Sunaero that you represented by Julien. The best thing of having company based in Johor is the proximity of Singapore, which was a key point, a benefit for both companies to work together and partner. One of the reasons is to provide a very proactive service to the customer and to be able to arrange, for example, visit from Singapore to Johor on a day trip. So this gives us the opportunity, even based in Singapore, to develop our business in Johor and develop our business in Malaysia. As you can see on the presentation, we are working with a few companies in Malaysia, and we hope that we are going to extend even more our business in the aerospace. One of the ideas also would be the proximity of Singapore is For us as a distributor of aircraft spare parts, as you know, the Singapore is very limited in terms of space, and we are looking to some expansion, especially in terms of warehouse and and storage, as it makes more sense economically for us, even based in Singapore, to have our warehouse and stock base in Johor. So that was, yeah, that's it for me. I just wanted to share my view and the idea about having the proximity of Johor being in Singapore, and wish everyone a big and great success. And do not hesitate to contact us if you need more information. We'll be pleased to assist you. Thank you very much, Michel. And thank you to all panelists.
Okay, thank you, Fred. Ladies and gentlemen, we started at 4:30. It's now 6:10. I think it has been a long afternoon, full of information. And we have now a few questions. Before we go to that, and to complement a little bit the testimonials and touching about companies who are using Johor as a strategic base to develop between Singapore and Malaysia, I would like to mention about Lireco. Lireco is a French company who distribute stationery, all the things for the office. And they have customers base in Singapore, and they have a customer base in Kuala Lumpur and Penang, I mean the Klang Valley on Penang. And they have chosen Johor precisely for this and set up near Senai Airport their hub, so they can manage both parts. And this one was about 8 years ago. So these are some examples of companies that to give ideas to some other companies. Okay, before we go to the wrap up, I think just like to have a look at some of the questions that we have received. Actually, there was a few questions linked to the presentation made by Iskandar. One of the questions was about the forecast of the development of the Iskandar region, and about first thing, the high-speed train. And the question asked by some of our participants was to see how does whether the high-speed rail connection was part of the forecast of the provision in the 76 billion ringgit set by Iskandar Malaysia for 2025. Was it part of the budget or was it not part? So maybe Enko Kamel can answer that. I'm not so sure.
Okay, thank you, Michel. I think 76 billion is in euros, Michel. We have converted to euros. In ringgit, it is 383 billion ringgit. Okay.
My apologies.
Okay. Anyway, for your information, the high-speed rail was never part of the forecast. It was never part of the forecast. All right. Nevertheless, I think we hope and we have requested actually for the government to continue to spend on key infrastructure that links all the way down to Iskandar Malaysia, which obviously will also benefit the state of Johor. So, it's just a setback. There could well be, another rethinking of, the route that is going to take now that the whole thing is cancelled for now. But I think they're also seriously looking at, other kinds of, similar or similar linkages. Yeah, I wouldn't want to say too much because this is under the purview of the federal government. We were never part of the, the detailed discussion of this. So it is not, part of it. So as you can see, even without HSR, we have already achieved from the figures that I've shared, 68 billion euros. Yeah, so we've still got another 8 billion euros to go for the next 4 years. Previously, we were averaging in ringgit about 30 billion of committed investments every year in Iskandar region. Yeah, so it is not too far-fetched to assume that the balance of 8 billion euros, can be achieved. you know, with you know, post-pandemic, I'm sure there will be renewed interest coming into our region. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nku Kamil. I think another question for Iskandar will be on the status of the rapid transit system Johor, and also about the bus rapid transit project. How are they going on, and when do we expect them to be completed, and what will be the impact?
Okay, I will comment first on the one that we are directly in charge, which is the bus rapid transit, BRT. The budget has been secured. The government is supporting it. We are basically have started. Yeah, the project has started by appointing the key consultants to it. I think within this year you will see the calls for tender for the bus rapid transit. Yeah. In fact, there are already trials with some, you know, new style buses currently in this kind of area. So that one is ongoing. That will obviously bring the linkages within this kind of Malaysia closer, from east to west, north to south. So the first phase, basically, you know, we just cover one line. But we see this as a, you know, a very good impact on the ground, which will help further movement of people and to reduce the traffic on the road. Okay, that will come on stream expected by say 2023, yeah? Early 2023 for the full completion. Yeah, the next one is the rapid transit system, the RTS. RTS is actually the ones linking the Singapore MRT system into Johor Bahru. Okay, for those of you who are not familiar, I mentioned earlier in my presentation that there are two linkages into Singapore. One is the causeway, which was built by the British in the 1800s, and a newer link, which is a bridge, which was built something like 30 years ago. They are very heavily congested. Okay, I'm sure Monsieur Halber will probably you know, testify this in his movement across you know, from Singapore to Johor. We are forever looking at ways to improve this. So the next one obviously is RTS, which hopefully again will reduce the traffic at these linkages. Yeah, so that you see, Singapore is a very you know, is a developed nation. However, they're always short of talent, workers, and a lot of the talents actually comes from Johor or originating from Johor. It is estimated at its height, there was something like up to 400,000 that cross every day. So it makes it one of the biggest crossings in the world, actually, one of the busiest crossings in the world. So we are forever looking at ways to improve, including putting in technology and so on. You know, obviously now it has reduced to a trickle because of COVID, but once it open up, I'm very sure, I think the talent that is, you know, has been working in Singapore will continue to flock there because of the big difference in the exchange rate between Malaysia and Singapore. So with RTS, it will further improve, you know, and our economy in part, especially in Southern Johor, is actually a lot of cross-border economy that comes across. Yeah? A lot of Singaporeans used to come over across for shopping, for their food and everything, and travel for their holiday destinations. So I think in time, it will come back, you know, to its previous heights. And forever, I think the government will continue to look at how to improve the linkages. But RTS is actually under the purview of the Ministry of Transport. Yeah, it is not under IRDA. Nevertheless, we do help in some of the alignment of the lines that is coming into Johor Bahru, so that at the end of the day, it can well synchronize into our bus rapid transit system. So RTS is a bit longer because they need to build another bridge next to the causeway, probably 2025, you know, as a good guess. By the end of Iskandar Malaysia, we should see a new linkage into Singapore. Thank you.
Thank you, Nku Kamel. So now we will have another question for another important economic aspect of Johor, but which is outside of this kind of region. So this question might be more for Invest Johor and his CEO is what is the situation of the development of around the rapid project in Pengerang? We have some, one of our members who asking for this question, who has been established in Johor for a few years, actually was motivated by the development of rapid. And I am sure apparently they would like to see how will be the further development of the Pengerang region, which is supposed to grow around the rapid project in Pengerang.
Actually, we are still looking at the further development of rapid in Pengerang. Actually, there are some proposals, but still need to be looked into very careful at the state level, at the level of the state government, which I still cannot disclose because here at Invest Johor, we still depend on the state economic planning unit about the whole project of Pengerang. But of course, we once we have the latest information about the development plan, maybe
maybe I can give a few more details, Michelle.
Okay.
Michelle.
Yes.
If you allow me to give a few details on this project, yeah. Although it's not part of Iskandar Malaysia, I think it is a very important development for our region. In fact, Petronas has spent, I think, 27 billion US. So this is one of the single biggest petrochemical investments, obviously in the region, if not the world. Yeah. So the status of the project, as updated by Petronas to us recently, they have fully completed the entire development of the complex. It's a petrochemical complex, including a refinery, up to, I believe, 400,000 barrels a day kind of thing. So, it's a very important project as far as the nation is concerned, which also gives job opportunities to no less than 4,000 people. Yeah, and obviously the surround will benefit a lot. I think there are a few industrial parks. There's also a huge oil storage terminal at the south of the project. So things have been going very well, actually. In fact, Petronas has temporarily, kind of shut down. They're ready for production, but because of, I think, some safety concerns. I think if you all know, there's one explosion last year, so they took the opportunity, especially during this COVID time, to improve their SOP on the ground and so on and so forth. And they are planning to starting again, obviously in the first half of this year. So it's basically ready, Michelle. But a lot of the opportunities there is actually on the further downstream activities, of the products that is going to be produced by Petronas. Yeah, the derivatives that comes out from oil and gas. So it's not just pure refinery selling, but they're inviting a lot of petrochemicals. And also you must know that, or everyone knows that Saudi Aramco is a big shareholder in the refinery. So that is, as far as I know, the status here. And many opportunities for everyone there. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Michelle, I would like to add some, actually I have some quick overview on existing oil and gas activities in Johor. The most intensive oil and gas activity in Malaysia is, of course, presently carried out in Johor, where major oil storage, trading, bunkering, warehousing, and manufacturing projects are located in Tanjung Bain, Tanjung Lasat, and of course Pengerang. And Johor State also allocated about 20,000 acres of land in Pengerang district for PIPC, which is Pengerang Integrated Petroleum Complex, which accommodate of Petronas Rapid and Dialog Vopak Pengerang Deepwater Terminal PDT. And it is inspired to be the Amsterdam, Rotterdam, Antwerp, or ARA of Asia. Malaysia is set to have a total of 10 million meter cubes of oil and gas storage by year 2020. Aside from Pengerang PDPT, two other strategic locations had been identified in Johor to complement Singapore existing storage facility. Tanjung Bin, which is located near the end tip of Asia, and Jurong will have about 3 million meter cubes of storage by end of this decade, and Tanjung Langsat will also have a total of 2 million storage capacity by 2017. Both locations are still open up to any storage players who are interested to expand their business in the region. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this very interesting information. I think the time has come to wrap up our event. I hope our participants have learned a lot of things today. I think what is important to show also is that is to show the true connection and the true interaction between all the different local agencies, the public sector together with the private sector, on how we can all work together for the further development of Malaysia as a whole, and to Johor in particular. I've been 30 years in Malaysia, and to me, Johor is certainly one of the parts of Malaysia where there is a lot of things to be done. I have also seen over the last 30 years a lot of development happening in Johor. Between my first visit in 1992 and now, it's a day on the light. So the thing will continue, and we will be there to help further investment, further development. Thank you very much to all our participants, to all our panelists, to all the agencies for this work. And already I would like to give you an appointment for next year, for an update next year, after hopefully all the COVID story is off, and we will be already on a more bullying situation. Thanks again to everyone, and see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.